Colleagues, welcome to our third webinar. Your host today is Moeketsi Nchoba, your regular host for those that are joining us again. Terence won't be with us today, so I will be driving the ship. And as I said, welcome to our third webinar. We have some of the amazing speakers that I'll be introducing you to. But before I introduce you to them, please note that your microphones and cameras have been switched off for this call, but you also have an opportunity to ask questions to any of the speakers as we go. And also, you just click on the Q&A button and type your questions there. I have a team that is working in the background who will be assisting in answering your questions. And some of the questions at the end, once all the speakers have presented, we will have a Q&A for 10 minutes with them. We will ask your questions there if they are not responded to in the Q&A. I will jump straight into introducing our first speaker. His name is Matsetsebale Tleane. Tete manages and leads Agape Youth Movement. It's a social nonprofit organization which operates in South Africa. He previously served as an advisor at the German Development Corporation, and he sits on the social and human science sector of the UNESCO Commission to South Africa. Tete advises and supports the Department of Basic Education on the improvement of the representative councils for learners. We are glad to have you, Tete, as part of us today and to share your perspective on how young people can succeed. Over to you, Tete.
Thank you very much, Moeketsi. I'm not able to start my video. I'm not sure.
Yes, the team will start the video for you in the background.
Okay, I'm the first speaker. Is that?
Yes, there.
Good afternoon to everyone on this call. My name is Matsetsebale. My full name is Matsetsebale Tleane. You will see my face just now. I am privileged to be the director and leader of Agape Youth Movement, which is a youth-led nonprofit company that is based in Tshwane, Gauteng, that works. There we go. I hope Moeketsi can see me.
Yes, I can see you. Beautiful.
This is an NGO or nonprofit company that works very closely with South African government departments that are geared towards making, the country conducive for young people's development outcomes, ensuring that young people do reach their full potential. And I've worked in the youth development space for some time, and this is the work that I'm really privileged to work in, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. I don't know how you guys see me, but for some reason I look like Nelson Mandela with the green. I hope this is not disruptive. So I work in this space. I've been in this space from a very young age, and I'm very passionate about young people having their potential unleashed and reaching their desired, destinations in life. And I mean, today we're here to speak with all young people across the country that we're part of the Presidential Youth Employment Initiative, that I believe all of you guys know what it is all about. And we're just here to share a few words from our experiences on how is it that you guys can go out and make it out there based on some of the lessons that you've gained. Let me start with this little scenario. There was this company that sold shoes, and it sent 2 of its salespeople to this village to go and sell shoes. And after the manager of this company having sent these people there, at the end of the day, when they come back to give the manager a report on what did they find and what were some of the opportunities, he was quite surprised that one of the sales reps that he sent down was extremely sad and upset and very hopeless about this which they found in there. And the other one was extremely excited, was very happy and could not wait for his turn to even speak. And when he asked them, why is it that you went to the same place and you're coming back with, opposite emotions and feelings? The other one said, you sent us to this village to sell shoes, but nobody in this village wears shoes. And who are we going to sell these shoes to? The other one said, can I speak? And they said, yeah, no, it's your turn. He said, nobody in the village wears shoes. And this is an opportunity for the whole village to all wear our shoes. So life is all about seeing opportunities where people might not actually see none. There's plenty of opportunities everywhere where we live, but it has a lot to do with how we view life and our surrounding so that we're able to make the most out of that which is there in our surroundings. So most of you might have went through this process where you were working in the education sector, in a school in your community where you were an educator assistant, where you were given quite a number of opportunities, where you had an opportunity to get a stipend that contributed to your livelihood. And we might find ourselves at a point where this process, this very beautiful process of waking up every morning, going to the school, interacting with colleagues in the schoolyard, interacting with the learners, and maybe this was something that was very close to your heart and you enjoyed doing it. And the program has reached an end, was about to reach an end. So what? Where do we go from here? What do we do in this situation? Who of these two salespeople do we want to be like? Do we want to be the one that says, the program is finished, there's nothing that I can do, it's hopeless, and I am just in despair, and I don't see how I'm going to go forward? Or you want to be the person that says, the program is finished with everything that I've learned, with all the opportunities that were unlocked for me. I can't wait to do something with what I have learned. And this afternoon, with the few minutes that are left, I would like to speak with those that are hopeful. And I would like to encourage those that might think the program is finished and they might not be as hopeful to come and join us on the side of those that believe that this process that you went through gave you quite a number of competencies that made you a different person than you were when you started. You might not see this. And I mean, some of these things are things that take time for one to identify, but for you to, you know what, colleagues, let me switch off my video because the way it appears, it's very disruptive. So let me speak with those that want to come to this site and enjoy the benefits and the opportunities that this present. You went in there. There were a few things that you might have not known how to do. You might have been given tasks, administrative tasks, where you actually learned how to write minutes, how to organize, how to coordinate processes, how to speak to people in a professional manner, how to interact with colleagues, and how to manage the different stakeholders that are existing in the school environment, because there's quite a number of interesting characters, interesting people that are there in the school. So there's quite a number that you have learned more than you can imagine. And you are way better than where you were when you started. Now the question is, what are we then doing with the skills that we've gained? You know, I've interacted with this African philosophy that says back in the days, African people dependent on their communities and on their families for economic participation in the community. They would have a family there that does farming, you'll have a family there that fixes roofs and all of those things. So every family would specialize in a specific trade. Now, if you look at this thing, you then see how we as Africans in our communities were able to utilize some of the opportunities that existed in our immediate environment. So I'm not going now to speak about How do you utilize the skills of yours in other places in Joburg, maybe which might be a bit far from where you stay? But how do you use these skills that you have gained through this Presidential Youth Employment Initiative to give value to your communities and also get some sort of income with which you can live? Because that's all that this whole thing, colleagues and guys and friends, is all about. How do you contribute to the community in which you live in, and how do you make a livelihood from that? We need to move away from thinking that there's someone that is going to come and save us, to move to a point where we think that we are the ones that we have waited for. I was with the minister last week here in Gauteng when we were launching the Freedom Month initiative, where we're teaching learners how to vote and introducing them to civic education. And it was said there that young people, we as young people as a generation now, we are the most powerful generation in the history of humanity, because we have all the information at our fingertips. So everything that we need to do, every information that we need to access, we can access that with our phones. So in your community, with all of the skills that you've gained, how do you give value, and how do you make a livelihood from that? And then I'm going to just share with you some of the little tips and examples through which you can give value in your communities. Is that you've worked in a specific school, you've understood some of the challenges that are present in that school. You know that our schools are engulfed with substance abuse, early unintended pregnancies. We know that our schools are overwhelmed with issues of violence. There's quite a number of issues that exist in our schools. What is it that you can do as a young person from that community? What is it that you can contribute to that school? As someone that has been in that school, as someone that has participated in the system of that school, how can you go back and run an after-school program? Because I'm very much aware that almost all of us, if not all of us, have went through an education process. We are qualified students from universities and tertiary institutions of education. How do we go back and offer something as simple as an extra class lesson for any subject, and we have the school maybe compensate you in one way or the other, or have the parents of the learners compensate you in one way or the other? These are some of the things that I believe that you can go into the schools and contribute on, because the country needs every single one of us, especially we as young people, to go out and contribute. Some of us in our families, we have uncles, we have aunts. I see, Mr. Mweketsi, that your video is on. I believe I'm left with 2 minutes.
Sorry for interrupting you, but I was just reminding you that you are left with 1 minute to wrap up, because we only have an hour to do this. Sorry about that.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So how do you start to identify some of the business opportunities that are there within your community? You have an uncle that has a plumbing company, you have an uncle that is doing carpentry, but their business is not online. Their business is not marketed on Facebook. Their business does not have a website. Their business might not even be registered. And there are a lot of opportunities in the community where your aunt's catering company can go and offer catering services. How are you not that young person that, as much as you have assisted us in the school, you can go and assist all the other enterprises by older or elderly people in the community that needs young energy to come in and bring some of the innovation through your knowledge of technology, registering those companies, making sure that they're there online, and providing the very same value that you're providing in our schools in local systems that would be able to grow with your intervention, so that you can make a livelihood out of that. Lastly, as I've said that we are the most powerful youth group in the world, we have all the information that we need at our fingertips. There's quite a number of online platforms that give skills for free. You can just go on Google and Google free online educational platforms to enhance and increase your capacity and skills on some of the things that you can do. You can go and study through Khan Academy. You can go and study through edX. There's quite a number of programs that you can do there just to upskill where you believe that you need some sort of extra lessons. And those are some of the things that would increase your employability when you will be seeking for other jobs with this service that you've provided in our schools as one of those that provided you with a work readiness program. Thank you very much, Mr. Choba.
Yeah, thanks very much. The AI for Zoom could not believe you are this young. That's why it was changing your face, because of the wisdom that you were sharing and and the practical nuggets that you were giving everyone in terms of your story. Participants, I see some of you are raising your hands. Please note that we won't be using that function or allowing you to participate via your audio or video, but you need to go to the Q&A button and ask your question there. There are some of our team members that are responding to some of the questions that are raised. Questions that are not answered, at the end, we have 10 minutes where we will have all speakers and then we'll direct all the questions to them. And I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome those that have joined us while Tete was presenting. A reminder that this is being recorded and it will be available on the DBE Ecubed website. But don't worry if you don't know where to go. An email will be sent to you with a link on where to go. Our second speaker is Octoria Rasebotsa. Octoria is going to set the scene for our theme today. He has turned a possibility into triumph in few ways. Octoria Rasebotsa, who's 25 years old, is an entrepreneur from Botlhokwa. He has experience in agriculture, media, tourism, entertainment, and logistics, and is currently running more than one business. So this is the great person that you can get practical lessons from. And one of those businesses is an agricultural enterprise specializing in poultry and tourism. Octoria's goal is to grow his company into a multinational corporation that contributes positively to society. I'm sure you want to know more about him and what he has done. So let's first say hello to him on screen, and then we'll play a video where he will tell us more about his story. Octoria, can you hear me? Can you go on video? That's your video. Octoria, over to you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much. We'll play your video and then I will hand over to you. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Octoria. I'm 24. I live in Pretoria and I grew up in a small village outside Polokwane. I run a sneaker cleaning business and I dabble in agriculture, selling eggs and veggies. Empty pockets were what inspired me when I was broke. I want to talk to you about what to do if you can't make enough money when earning for yourself. It's something I've got a lot of experience with. First, I want to tell you that it's okay to get things wrong and experience challenges. But remember to celebrate the things you're doing well and definitely don't give up. These are some of the challenges you might come across. Number one, the money you're earning may not be enough. If you check that people still want to buy what you're selling, I'd recommend checking if there might be too many people in the community selling what you're selling. And if that happens, you can always start looking for new opportunities. I got into cleaning sneakers when I noticed there was a market close to my university and no one offering that service. I spotted that opportunity on my doorstep. Could also look at side hustles. This is how I got into agriculture. My family always grew vegetables and chickens, but they were just for us. They didn't know how to make a business out of it, and that's why I came. I'd also recommend applying for jobs. Again, once you've got a bit of experience earning for yourself, you'll have learned new skills that future employers will love. Number two, you may be spending too much. Have you taken a look at what you're spending recently and how it breaks down? Start by seeing what you can cut. You'll quickly see opportunities, which may even mean you can pay yourself a bit more each month. And if you're paying for rent or a shop that you can afford, downsize. Move your business home I ran my sneaker cleaning business outside the university and took the sneakers home to clean them. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and you can save lots of money. Same thing if you're renting equipment. Is there someone you could share that cost with? Number 3, customers are not paying you. If you're not doing this already, ask your customers for a deposit of at least 50%. If they can't pay now, they may not be able to pay later. This will help give you more regular cash and make the money you're earning a bit more predictable. Number 4, you can't find regular customers. Think about regular customers you've got. What are the simple things that work and keep them coming back? I found building trust to be the most important thing. I got really good at cleaning sneakers by watching YouTube tutorials. That's how I taught myself. I learned how to clean sneakers way better than my customers could. And I knew if I did it well, they'd keep coming back. I would also suggest you think about anything you might be able to improve, like the condition of your product or the quality of your service, or how quickly you can reply to messages. I also keep a database with customers' details so that I can send them offers and tell them about new stuff. Informal networks like this can keep people coming back for more. Number 5, if you're missing a skill, I learned so much from people around me as I've always been exposed to young entrepreneurs, sometimes without even realizing it. I saw kids selling snacks at school, and when I went to university, I saw a friend hustling as a photographer. I'd see other entrepreneurs and learn from them constantly. I learned a lot from YouTube and also found some helpful courses on Udemy and Show Academy to develop my business skills.
Thanks for that video. Ladies and gentlemen, please note that you need to go to the Q&A to ask questions.
Hello, my name is Tumi.
If you raise hands, we won't be able to assist you there. Just post your questions in the Q&A. Over to you, Octoria.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moketse, for the opportunity to be here for this webinar and talk with our young people of our beautiful country. Well, first of all, as from the videos you can see, sneaker wash business was also one of my hustles that I came up with in my university days. And before that, I had a media business where we were designing websites, graphic design and everything else. And one thing I can tell you is that all of those things, especially with the media company, there were skills that I learned from the classroom, and I found a way to monetize them, you see.
Octoria.
So, yes, sir?
Sorry, I made a mistake. We had given you a chance in the video, so I was supposed to jump to Tumi. Can I quickly introduce Tumi, and then in the Q&A, we'll give you a chance to respond to all the questions that might have come up. As you heard participants, that he's running multiple of businesses, and then this is one of the most simple business that he's running, which doesn't require a lot from a resource point of view, just water and soap, and he's charging clients and making money. Jumping to Tumi quickly. Our next speaker's name is Tumi Phosa. Tumi Phosa started her journey to success in a way that success can happen in unexpected ways. Tumi is only 33 years old as an entrepreneur from Ekurhuleni. She holds a BA in psychology and started her entrepreneurial journey through the Youth Solving Youth program, selling novelty gifts. She has since expanded her offering to include flowers and gifts for any and every occasion. Before we watch a video from Tumi, Tumi, can you please say hi? Okay, I will just play your video right now, Tumi. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tumi Phosa. I'm from Ekurhuleni. I live in Atwatwa, Davidson. I'm the youngest of 4, and I live with my mother, my sister, and my nephew. I went to school in Bonomi from grade North to matric. And in 2008, immediately after matric, I had an opportunity to go study towards a BA degree in psychology at the University of Johannesburg in Auckland Park. So how psychology came about, it has a lot to do with my aspirations and my purpose in life. When I was 9 years old, I wanted to become a social worker. I had no exposure to it, but I just had this feeling that I want to help people, kids, old people, young people, everyone. In 2015, my father, my best friend, my hero, introduced me to the world of psychology, and I was fascinated. So when I got to university and I was told that I could study both psychology and social work, I was very excited. A year in, I decided that I would not be continuing with social work, but I would take communications as a second major. Marry psychology and communications and still make a difference. So after finally obtaining my degree, I worked odd jobs at call centers here and there. In 2015, I founded a fashion, beauty, and lifestyle magazine called Fervor. It was a magazine for plus-size women. And 2 years later, I had to stop because of the financial constraints. But in 2017, I got a job as an editor at a community newspaper, Ekurhuleni News. And it exposed me to the stories of the community, my community. And I was happy that I was still able to serve, just in a different way. But when I got into 2018, the contract had ended and I was unemployed. It was a year that changed my life because as much as I was unemployed, my father, my hero, my best friend fell ill and he passed away that year. It was a difficult time for me. So I reached out for self-help books just to get a sense of myself again. In 2019, I got a call from Harambee. It was the break that I was waiting for. Finally, a job, but no. It was a program, a bridging program to employment, youth solving youth issues. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's see what it has. And one of the things that I took away from that was something that I learned within my first week of that program. Agency. An agency asks the question, what do you do when you wake up? What do you do during the day? Are you just sitting around or is there something that you're doing? And I immediately tied that to purpose. And I needed to start asking those questions, especially as I was coming out of my state of hopelessness. And as you can imagine, I and a group of people in the program were in a group called Team Depression and Hopelessness. And we were trying to solve that issue within our community. Within the program, we were taught the art of selling, the art of hustling, as we call it. And we started off selling Ikota and chips. And we found that, it was so expensive that we moved to selling novelty items, mugs and socks and all sorts of things. And it made so much sense. 3 months in the program, I got an internship at Gauteng Department of Education in the psychology unit. See how life works full circle. I was reminded again of why I made the decision to serve people. It made sense, absolute sense. But because it was an internship and I was earning a stipend, I needed to continue with my hustle so that I can be able to supplement my income. But as life had it, or life has it rather, we become very comfortable in that which we are receiving. So I didn't do as much hustling as I did before. But 2 years later, my internship ended. And though there were talks of finding an internal post and renewing contracts, it never really happened. And I had to go back and think of what my agency was. So I remembered that what I had was agency and skill. I had opportunity and I had time. So I went onto YouTube, TikTok, you name it. And I started looking at what I could possibly do. And I found flowers. Interesting. I love receiving flowers. So I thought, how is it that I've never ever considered doing bouquets? So I did that. I watched YouTube, I watched videos, TikTok, and I learned how to make bouquets. So I started getting clients here and there who wanted flowers, some for funerals or any type of occasions. So I did that. And then people started asking, well, is it just flowers? Can't you get flowers and chocolates? So I also then went into hampers and gifting. And yes, not yet on the mid florist level, but I'm actually enjoying what I am doing. And I am seeing how this can actually be a business. Am I still able to pursue my purpose of serving? Yes. It's not just in the product. It's not just the flowers or the chocolates or the hamper. It is the emotion behind it. So that's what I sell. I sell feeling good. And that ties a lot into my purpose. Along my journey in life, I realized that I actually want to make people feel good about themselves. The program that I was doing at GDE, we were working in a unit where children with disabilities, various types of disabilities would come in. And even though the children were happy and didn't know what was going on around them, the parents were so despondent and hopeless. And I remembered how I was in a similar state to them. And making them feel good was my primary objective. Every day I went to work. So as I know that flowers and gifts will make people feel good, I'm also embarking on where people can rebuild their confidence, self-worth, and self-esteem. I'm currently in the final phase of a master NLP program. And once I am done, I will be able to assist people with reprogramming and coaching them with confidence. I'm starting a foundation called the Good Enough Foundation. And the job of the foundation is to make sure that we assist and serve people once more by letting them know that they are worthy, that they are allowed to take up space, and that they are good enough. All this while selling flowers, gifts, it all ties in so beautifully. So now I never forget that agency and purpose is what should be driving me on days when I feel like I can't do it anymore. And that hustling and success are not mutually exclusive. My name is Tumi Phosa, and I am a game changer. I put God first, I focus on my purpose, and I will never stop reaching for the stars.
Wow, Tumi Phosa, thank you for sharing that story of survival against all odds. As you heard, Tumi was part of the organization, a youth organization, and also in a youth program. You are also in a youth program right now, and you are learning these skills and nuggets that can help you to start something after this program. Remember, if you have any questions for any of the speakers, you can go to the Q&A and then type your questions in there. Now it gives me a pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today, which is Dr. Meshack Khosa. Dr. Meshack Khosa is a CEO of Fresh Thinking Capital, and he has over 30 years of experience leading organizations to achieve their strategic, business, financial goals. He has significant experience in managing government-commissioned large-scale national research projects and surveys on the economy, social service delivery, and service offering best practices throughout South Africa and Southern Africa. Dr. Khosa is a hands-on change maker, passionate about finding and implementing change that enables clients to achieve their goals. Thank you, Dr. Khosa, for joining us, and we are looking forward to hearing from you. Can you hear me, Dr. Khosa?
Yes, I can hear you, and I'm very, very excited listening to Tsetse and the other colleague. I'm rejuvenized. Thank you. Should I get started?
Yes, sir.
How to turn possibility into triumph. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. These words were said by Zig Ziglar, one of the leading motivational speakers of the century. I was born in Kliptown during a turbulent time in South Africa with no hope for a better life. My academic performance could have been better. And guess what? 17 universities rejected me and my applications. However, I found hope at Vista University in 1985 and graduated in 1985 from 83 to 85. I continued to read books and I have mentors who helped me to turn possibility into triumph. I eventually got a PhD in 1992, 2 years before the birth of our country. Turning possibility into triumph is essential to unlock the full potential and achieve success. This means overcoming obstacles, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, and having a clear vision of your goals. A growth mindset, openness to learning and feedback, and taking action are key factors in the process. A clear understanding of your goal is very important for you to succeed. Once the goal is set, creating an action plan helps you to stay focused on track. The growth mindset involves embracing challenges, viewing failures as opportunities to learn, and using setbacks as motivation to push forward. To turn possibility into triumph, adopt a positive mindset and build resilience. This involves developing a growth mindset using gratitude, visualization, and affirmations to build your confidence. Seek new experiences, reflect on past success and failures, and set realistic goals, as I've already indicated. Developing resilience by bouncing back, because guess what? You will be knocked down many, many times. So what you need to do is to prepare for that. Building self-awareness by assessing skills, your own skills, seeking feedback and identifying areas of improvement can help you. Have a mentor or a coach at all times, because they will partner with you when things are not working well. To turn possibility into triumph, building a supportive network, we call them masterminds. Never work alone. Champions do not work alone. They work with like-minded people. Let me repeat, never work alone. Champions always work with experts who help to support them, to support you. So cultivating a positive mindset, building resilience, and developing a supportive network and setting clearly defined goals will enable you to turn possibility into triumph. These strategies can help overcome obstacles and lead to success in different aspects of life. To turn possibility into triumph, take action towards achieving specific and realistic goals. Most of us dream, but we never sit down to create the plans for us to achieve those dreams. Practicing gratitude to your colleagues, to your family, is very, very important, because there is no one who can achieve success alone. So if you are not part of a network or a professional organization, you are missing out. So this is an opportunity for me to reinforce. I know you already know all these things. As a mentor, I'm a member of COMENSA, Coaching and Mentoring of South Africa. As an editor, I'm a member of South African Editors Forum. As an author, I'm a member of many, many other author professional organizations, and I learn each and every time when we meet. And incidentally, it takes an hour per month to participate, and the benefits are great. Let me repeat, without goals, you will not achieve anything. Think about the 24-hour period, which is a day. Do you plan the day before to say, for 8 hours, I'll dedicate myself to learning, another 8 hours to working, and the last 8 hours to sleep? Being deliberate about what you do each and every day. Think like a bank manager. A bank manager knows exactly how much she has in the bank. Do you know how many hours you spend having fun with family? Or time to learn. I learn every day. 8 hours is dedicated to learning for me. I read every day. I'm not saying I'm the best reader, but I'm a committed reader. The other one is being open to feedback and adjusting your approach as needed. And you can only do that if you have a mentor or a coach. So I invite you to seek mentors and coaches. And in fact, there are many who will be willing to take you in their own organizations for a couple of hours a month. You do 1, 2, 3, and they mentor you. And they will introduce you to some of the amazing opportunities which we have. To turn possibility into triumph, you must focus on your strengths and leverage them to achieve your goals. We all have weaknesses, but focus on your strengths. By identifying and utilizing your unique talents, skills, and passions, you can increase your effectiveness and find fulfillment in pursuing your goals. This may involve stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying new approaches, which can lead to significant breakthroughs and also growth. To turn possibility into triumph, focus on your goals and remain passionate about them. One strategy for achieving this is to leverage your strength. Have you sat down to say, these are my strengths and my unique talents? A coach or a mentor can help you. Another strategy is to take calculated risks. I didn't say risks, calculated risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone and also pursuing the amazing opportunities. In fact, we live in what we call paradise. Technology has opened opportunities for us. You can communicate with many people. You can have a YouTube video which can be watched by millions around the world. And I'm very excited because some of the people who are in here are on YouTube. You learn a great deal. By being adaptable, flexible, opportunities can be seized as they arise and obstacles can be overcome. Remember, you will never, ever erase obstacles. In fact, obstacles are there to prepare you for the next challenge. For an example, an employee willing to adjust their approach, they can learn new skills and go to their workplace to say, you know what, why don't we take this organization that way? If they say no, good news for you. For the last 30 plus years, I've never worked for a boss for more than 3 years. Actually, the total number of years I was an employee was 3 years. And that created an opportunity for me to learn and to fail. And by the way, there's a book called Failing Forward, which is written by Dr. John Maxwell. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Go and read that. Failure is part of that. Adapting and also learning is part of failing. A focus on continuous learning and improvement, it's very, 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 very important for all of us, including myself, who in 2 years' time, I'll be celebrating my 6th decade on the planet we call Earth. I'm more excited about learning now more than in the last, 50 years. So here's an opportunity for you. You are welcome to paradise, the paradise of opportunities, the paradise where you can access knowledge, the paradise where you can learn from others, the paradise where you can create so that when you are gone, you will have left a legacy. Millions of people today go, we bury them. They said, he was born on this day, he died on that day. But there's no evidence to accuse that person that that person ever lived. But because you are participating on this wonderful webinar, I know that you will pick up one idea, one word, which can change your life forever. I know that some of you are entrepreneurs. Congratulations. Entrepreneurs create solutions. I know that some of you will join the ranks of workers. Yes, we do need committed workers, but as a worker, you work for 8 hours. After that, you work for yourself. You learn new skills. Life is a journey, but it's a journey of growth and improvement, not just a journey. Through training, practice, and commitment, and this is my favorite, continuous learning, athletes improve themselves. You as a young person, you can improve yourself. In fact, I will say, tonight before you sleep, sit down and write your goals. Goals for this year, goals for the next 3 years, goals for the next decade, and guess what? Goals for the next century. You may say, why are you talking about the next century? It's just because what you do today will become a legacy for many, many, many years to come. You want to be remembered that you live, but that's not all. It is because you are part of the chain of humanity, because you had your pause, your space, your break, your thought. They will know that you lived and you left a legacy. You can only do that if you now commit to seek out mentors, seek out coaches, seek out accountability partners, because those people will help shape and mold who you are today, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are an artist, whether you are a politician, whether you are an administrator. We need all of those people to contribute using their own unique strengths. And remember that in everything, there are risks. So make calculated risks in order to achieve the breakthrough in your own life. I want you to think for a moment. When last did you read a new book? When last did you write a poem? When last did you draw something? When last did you think or sit down to think about your entire family and writing their own stories, or at least the stories you remember? One of our programs which we have is to encourage people to write their own memoirs. A memoir can be 5 pages, 25 pages, 100 pages. You don't have to be famous to write your own story, because you are unique. To turn the tide around, begin today. But remember, athletes don't just pitch up on the game. They practice every day. Poets.
Sorry, Dr. Khosa, to interrupt.
Am
Just 1 minute to wrap up so that we can jump into Q&A. Thanks very much.
Okay. Let me just summarize it. 7 points. Define your goal. Develop a plan. Take action. Stay motivated. Learn from failures. Stay flexible and seek support. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, thanks very much, Dr. Khosa. Guys, you've heard, those are pearls of wisdom that you've heard today. Someone who really was going for chances over and over, who has not been admitted by 17 universities, but today he's got a PhD. I'm going to call all our panelists to switch on their video. We will just jump into Q&A. Remember that if you have any questions for the panelists, you can write those questions into the Q&A, and then we will try and answer as many as possible. We only have 6 minutes left, but feel free to post your questions there, and then we'll pass it on to the panelists. Tsetse, as the first speaker, let me start with you. You've heard in Tumi's video that she was talking about how important the self-esteem is. What else can you share with us about how these young people can create safe space for them to build their own self-esteem?
Thank you very much, Moketsi. Self-esteem comes, I believe, from an environment that encourages you even when you are battling. When you're failing, you're not at one point able to, do something. Self-esteem is, believe in oneself. But for you to get to a point where you believe in oneself, you need the environment that is conducive for you to make those mistakes until you reach that point. A lot of people don't have self-esteem because the environments keep on shutting them down when they're yearning to achieve self-actualization. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Octoria, are you with us? Octoria? Let me jump to Dr. Khosa whilst Octoria is still joining us. Dr. Khosa, you spoke about the importance of having mentors. Can you summarize to our participants how do they select mentors? What process should they go about in selecting these mentors? Who qualifies to be a mentor in one?
Thank you very much. My first mentor, I'm using an example so that you understand. Although I was born in Soweto, we grew up in rural areas of the then Transvaal in a homeland. And by the way, everything I've just said now, it's on my YouTube videos. We probably have more than 50, which I encourage people to go through and give me feedback so that I can be better. So we had to learn how to hunt, to catch locusts, and life in rural areas was very tough at that moment. So we had people who will guide us and support us in the process. There is a mentoring organization here. It's called Commensa Coaching and Mentoring of South Africa, of which they do offer pro bono, and anyone can join. All students, I think, they pay a very nominal price or at no cost. Commensa Coaching and Mentors of South Africa. And then finally, anyone can be a mentor because you have a skill. If you have a particular skill and you can spend 5 minutes with someone to say, this is how I do this, you have a mentoring skill. So obviously, when we talk about professionalizing that, there is a professional organization. And I'll be more than happy to support whoever might want to get some of the benefits from our own organization. We do offer 20 pro bono hours every month. So people can approach us. Won't be able to cover everyone, but we focus on young people and women in particular, and also the elderly, people who want to transition and to learn new skills. So it's what we do as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khosa. A final thank you to all our guest speakers today. And I hope that you have learned something, and something that is more practical that you'll start implementing as of tomorrow. And a reminder that the recording of today will be emailed to you, and it's also available on the DBE Ecubed YouTube site. So either go to the YouTube site and then just type DBE Ecubed, or wait for that email that will be sent to you with a link. Our next webinar will be in May, and so stay tuned for that one, and we hope to see you very soon. And please tell others that they, as soon as you receive the message, remind them that they could join us. And also tell those that haven't joined us, you can share the link with them. Thank you very much to my technical team who were supporting us in the background. And thank you very much to all the leadership in the PYEI who are assisting you. And thanks to your principals and teachers for allowing you to join for today. That's all from me. Thank you. Bye.